Welcome to Stevo's Portal. Kindly show us your support by liking, sharing, and subscribing to this channel. Today we're talking about something deeply personal and often difficult, coping with grief and loss. We'll explore the stages of grief and learn how to navigate this challenging journey towards healing. Losing someone we love is never easy. Grief can feel overwhelming, but remember, you're not alone. This video is designed to be a safe space for understanding and coping with these feelings. We're here to support you every step of the way. When we first experience loss, the initial reaction is often shock. We might feel numb, disoriented, or even physically unwell. This is a natural response to trauma, and it's our body's way of protecting us from the full impact of the pain. It's crucial to allow ourselves to feel this shock without judgment. Reach out to someone you trust for support during this time. Following the initial shock, we might experience a period of numbness and disbelief. We might feel detached from our emotions, or have difficulty accepting that the loss has actually happened. This numbness serves as a buffer, allowing us to process the loss gradually. It's important not to judge ourselves for feeling this way. Remember, acknowledging our pain takes courage, and it's okay to take it one step at a time. Denial is a common defense mechanism that helps us cope with the initial pain of loss. We might find ourselves thinking, "This can't be happening," or clinging to the belief that the person we've lost will somehow return. Denial can manifest in different ways, such as avoiding conversations about the loss. While denial can be useful in the short term, it's important to recognize that it's not a permanent solution. Holding on to denial for too long can prevent us from moving through the grieving process and ultimately healing. Gradually, as the initial shock subsides, we begin to face the reality of our loss. We might experience waves of intense emotions, including sadness, anger, guilt, and loneliness. It's important to allow ourselves to feel these emotions without judgment. Suppression or denial will only prolong the grieving process. Remember, acknowledging and expressing our pain is an essential step towards healing. Anger is a natural and often necessary stage in the grieving process. This emotion may manifest in various ways, from irritation to intense rage. It's important to understand that this anger is a normal reaction to the sense of injustice and powerlessness that loss can bring. Individuals may find themselves questioning the fairness of their loss. Acknowledging this anger without self-judgment is crucial for moving through this stage of grief effectively. Expressing anger can be cathartic, but it's essential to do so in ways that don't harm oneself or others. Understanding that anger is a common and valid response to grief can help individuals and their support networks navigate this challenging emotion with more empathy and effectiveness. Finding healthy outlets for anger is vital during the grieving process. Physical activities, such as sports or exercise, can be excellent outlets. Creative expression is another beneficial outlet. Engaging in art, music, or writing can provide a non-verbal way to process complex emotions. Speaking to a therapist or joining a support group can also provide a safe environment to express and discuss one's anger. These settings offer not only validation, but also perspectives and coping strategies from others who are navigating similar experiences. It's also helpful to set boundaries around the expression of anger. Knowing when and where it's appropriate to express these feelings can prevent personal relationships from being strained. Following anger, the bargaining stage of grief introduces a different kind of emotional turmoil. Here, individuals may find themselves caught up in a whirlwind of "what if" and "if only" statements. This stage involves trying to negotiate away the pain, often with a higher power or within one's mind. Bargaining can manifest in vows or promises to change one's behavior. Understanding that this stage is a normal part of grief can help individuals recognize that these thoughts are a part of their mind's attempt to regain control. Recognizing this as a natural response to loss can provide some comfort and reduce the self-blame that often accompanies these thoughts. Coping with the bargaining stage involves acknowledging the thoughts and feelings without becoming entrenched in them. Mindfulness practices can be particularly helpful here, as they encourage living in the present moment. Techniques such as deep breathing, meditation, or yoga can help soothe the mind. Open communication with trusted friends or family members can also aid in processing these thoughts. Professional guidance, such as therapy, can provide structured support during this stage. Therapists can offer techniques to manage intrusive thoughts and help individuals build resilience. Engaging in rituals or setting up memorials can provide a constructive outlet for the feelings of longing and loss. As we move through the initial shock, anger, and bargaining stages of grief, we may find ourselves entering a period of profound sadness, the depression stage. This stage might manifest as feelings of emptiness, hopelessness, or a loss of interest in things that once brought joy. We might experience changes in sleep patterns, appetite, or energy levels. It's crucial during this time to allow ourselves to feel these emotions fully, without judgment or self-criticism. Trying to suppress or deny our sadness will only prolong the grieving process. This stage, though painful, serves a vital purpose. It allows us to process the magnitude of our loss and to begin to adjust to life without the physical presence of our loved one. The depression stage of grief can feel overwhelming, like being lost in a dense fog. It's tempting to try to numb the pain with distractions or to isolate ourselves from others. However, it's precisely during these moments of intense sadness that allowing ourselves to feel and process our emotions is most crucial. Think of grief as a wave that washes over you. You can't stop the wave, but you can learn to ride it out. Engage in activities that allow you to connect with your inner self and express your emotions healthily. Journaling can be a powerful tool for processing thoughts and feelings. Remember that healing takes time, and there will be good days and bad days. Navigating the depression stage of grief can feel incredibly isolating. However, it's crucial to remember that you don't have to go through this alone. Reaching out for support during this time is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to your strength and resilience. Talk to trusted friends or family members about how you're feeling. Sharing your grief with those who care about you can lighten the burden and provide a sense of connection. Consider joining a support group or seeking professional guidance from a therapist specializing in grief counseling. While the depression stage of grief can feel all-encompassing, it's important to remember that it's not a permanent state. As you move through the grieving process, you'll begin to notice subtle shifts within yourself. The intensity of your pain may lessen, or you may find moments of peace and even joy amidst the sadness. These are signs that you're healing, that you're slowly but surely finding your way back to yourself. Embrace these moments of light, no matter how fleeting they may seem. They are reminders that even in the depths of grief, hope exists. Reaching the acceptance stage of grief doesn't mean forgetting our loved ones or pretending the pain never existed. It's about acknowledging the reality of the loss and learning to live with the empty space left behind. Acceptance doesn't mean the pain disappears entirely. It may resurface, especially during significant dates or moments that trigger memories. This stage is about integrating the loss into our life story, understanding that it has shaped us, but doesn't define us. It's about finding ways to keep the memory of our loved ones alive in a way that allows us to move forward with love and gratitude. Be patient with yourself and allow yourself to feel the full spectrum of emotions that come with healing. Healing from grief isn't a linear process with a defined endpoint. It's a journey often unpredictable, with its own unique twists and turns. There will be good days and bad days, moments of peace alongside surges of sadness. It's important to remember that this is normal, that healing doesn't follow a straight line. Healing is not about erasing the pain or forgetting our loved ones. It's about learning to carry the grief with us in a way that allows us to live a full and meaningful life. Remember, there's no right or wrong way to grieve. Your journey is unique to you. Be patient with yourself and allow yourself the time and space you need to heal. As we navigate the acceptance stage, we reflect on the meaning of loss and search for a renewed sense of purpose. This is a natural part of healing, as we make sense of our experiences and move forward with intention. Some find solace in spirituality, comfort in faith, or exploring new practices. Others honor loved ones through acts of kindness, volunteering, or supporting causes. Grief can be a catalyst for personal growth. It deepens our empathy and reevaluates our priorities. We might find new passions, relationships, or career paths, inspired to live more authentically. It's about honoring their memory by living fully and making a positive impact. Living with loss is an ongoing process of adaptation and integration. It's about carrying the memory of our loved ones in a way that honors their legacy. We find comfort in sharing stories, keeping their memory alive through traditions. We honor their passions by supporting causes they cared about or pursuing their activities. Carrying love forward means extending compassion to ourselves and others who are grieving. It means creating space for open conversations about loss and offering support. Their love continues to shape and influence our lives. By living with intention and purpose, we keep their love alive within us. As we've explored in this video, the journey through grief is a deeply personal and often challenging one. We've discussed the different stages of grief, from the initial shock and denial to the anger, bargaining, depression, and eventual acceptance. Remember, these stages are not linear, and you may experience them in different orders or revisit them at different points in your healing journey. There's no right or wrong way to grieve, and your experience is uniquely yours. The important thing is to allow yourself to feel your emotions fully, without judgment or self-criticism. Trying to suppress or deny your grief will only prolong the healing process. Embrace the support of loved ones, seek professional guidance if needed, and remember that healing takes time. Be patient with yourself, and trust that you will find your way through this difficult time. It's crucial to remember that everyone grieves differently. There is no one-size-fits-all approach to healing, and what works for one person might not work for another. Avoid comparing your grief journey to others or judging yourself for not being over it by a certain time. Embrace your own unique experience and allow yourself to grieve at your own pace. Some days will be harder than others, and that's okay. There's no need to rush the healing process or to pretend you're okay when you're not. Remember, it's okay to ask for help when you need it, to set boundaries to protect your emotional well-being, and to prioritize self-care during this difficult time. Listen to your body and your heart, and honor your own individual needs as you navigate the path of healing. One of the most important things to remember during times of grief is that you are not alone. Many people around you have experienced similar losses and understand the pain you're going through. Reach out to trusted friends, family members, or support groups where you can share your feelings and experiences in a safe and understanding environment. Connecting with others who have walked a similar path can provide comfort, validation, and hope. Remember, sharing your grief is not a burden to others. It's an act of courage and vulnerability that can strengthen your connections and help you feel less isolated during this challenging time. If you're looking for additional support and resources to help you navigate grief and loss, there are many available to you. Organizations like the Grief Recovery Method, the Compassionate Friends, and the National Hospice and Palliative Care Organization offer valuable information, support groups, and online resources. Additionally, seeking professional guidance from a therapist specializing in grief counseling can provide you with personalized support, coping strategies, and a safe space to process your emotions. Remember, reaching out for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. There's no shame in seeking support as you navigate this challenging journey. As we conclude this video on coping with grief and loss, remember that healing is possible. It may not always feel like it, especially in the early stages of grief, but with time, support, and self-compassion, you can and will find your way through. Grief is not something you get over, but something you learn to live with and integrate into your life story. Embrace the memories of your loved one, cherish the love you shared, and allow yourself to imagine a future where you can carry their memory with you in a way that brings comfort, peace, and even joy.